you want to try to sit here before us and be Superman, because that's something that men do. They don't want to show very much vulnerability. But if we voted you to parole today, there's no doubt in my mind that you would be happy about it. None.
But I still got to deal with, if you give me parole or not, I still got Rhode Island. Rhode Island don't even, I got Rhode Island. Rhode Island denied my parole.
I know, we saw that.
So that's what's.
Yes, yeah. Still.
But then they say they don't mind. They don't mind if y'all release me to a halfway house, but then they won't send the paperwork. So right now it's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm already comfortable with leaving in October. If I'm already prepared for the worst, I pray for the best. Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, I'm just ready to be done in October. I just know October my time is coming.
But again, I'm still going to say that if that was the true way that you felt, you would have signed a waiver with the officer, and we wouldn't be sitting here today.
I would have, but then I found out if I get denied from y'all and I get denied halfway house, I get a 45-day reentry, and then I'll make it home September 30th for my mom's birthday. You get what I'm saying? So I can't get a 45-day reentry without you denying me.
So he has it already figured out. Why do you have those elastics on your hand? On your arms, wrists, whatever.
It just remind me to stay healthy.
Well, another Connecticut parole hearing, another day, and another attempt at reverse psychology. We've seen this happen a few times where they show up and say, I don't want parole. It's like, wow, is that the rumor in the Connecticut prisons? It's coming there with the 8-year-old reverse psychology tactic. Let's see if it ever works. But unbelievable. Anyways, we're gonna listen to the full parole hearing and then we'll unpack it at the end. So with that, let's jump in.
Your inmate number?
383032.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of a parole application for Anthony Edmond, 383032. He is serving a total effective sentence of 3 years jail, followed by 4 years special parole for criminal possession of a firearm. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of April 25th, 2023. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan. It has been reviewed and shows that the offender has not completed any programs. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score on the SRT falls within the very high range of risk for recidivism. Mr. Becker, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
The reason I just heard him say I didn't complete any programs. I'm signed up for college. I've been signed up for programs. I had to go to Rhode Island to get another. I'm not gonna lie, it's another gun case resolved. So that alone, I've been on the list waiting and I haven't been called yet. I know my max out is October, so I'm really not, I know I did some wrong, so I don't mind doing the time for my wrongs. I feel like I needed this time to get my mind right. I'm 30 years old now. I've been in the system since I was a teenager for the same things over and over. So I'm really not mad at my decisions. I'm completely fine with everything. I'm on my next step. I got a small business loan. I started my own cleaning company since I've been in here. I'm waiting to get that off the road. I'm just waiting for my moment right now. So whether you give it to me now, I'm perfectly fine with waiting in October. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I know what I did was wrong. So my mom's a little sick right now. She wanted to be on video. She haven't seen me. She's 70 years old. But I don't have any kids. My mom needs me, and I want to do better for myself. So I'm just at that point in life where I understand my wrongs, and I know what I need to do now. So I don't really have a sad story. I don't have any big words. I am the pity of my mistakes. I know that, but I don't have anything else to say to you. I don't have that in me because I know what I've done. I apologize. I'm glad I have no victims. It was the victims. I really feel sorry for my victims. I don't have any victims. I never hurt anybody. I got shot up and left for dead, and that made me carry a gun. So, I mean, it was just my thinking at that point in time. But I'm not even thinking like that anymore. I haven't thought like that in a long time. I got tickets. My first ticket was in the county for fighting, and it wasn't even a fight. I was horseplaying with my cousin because I haven't seen him. Yeah. And then I got 3 tickets that took away my little good time. Yeah. It was all dumb stuff. a TV got broken. I went to SAG. It was a fight going on. I didn't make it to my bunk during the cold. I went to SAG, and I used the phone. I used another phone pen, and I went to SAG. That was 3 Class A tickets.
Right.
And usually when I go to SAG, my previous jail time sentences, it was more for fighting. So I know I've changed. I don't need recommendation of my change. You know, some people need validation. I don't need validation. I know I've changed. I did a couple of dumb things along the way, because at the end of the day, I'm 30 years old and I grew up in the prison system. So I taught myself everything I know. When I wanted to learn something, I had to go dig into a book on my bunk and learn it. So I graduated high school. I signed back up for college. I previously was going to college. So I'm perfectly fine. I've got a small business loan from clean execs.
Mr. Beckman, you're repeating yourself now, so I'm going to stop you. I appreciate your opening statement. And if you didn't care about whether or not you got parole, you wouldn't be sitting here today. So you do care. I think it's a defense mechanism to say whatever it is, you know, and I get it. You want, listen, you want to try to sit here before us and be Superman, you know, because that's something that men do. You know, they don't want to show very much vulnerability. But if we voted you to parole today, there's no doubt in my mind that you would be happy about it. None.
But I still got to deal with, if you give me parole or not, I still got Rhode Island. Rhode Island. I got Rhode Island. Rhode Island denied my parole.
I know. We saw that.
So that's what's.
Yes. Yeah. Still.
But then they say they don't mind. They don't mind if y'all release me to a halfway house, but then they won't send the paperwork. So right now it's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm already comfortable with leaving in October. If I'm already prepared for the worst, I pray for the best. Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, I'm just ready to be done in October. I just know October my time is coming.
But again, I'm still going to say that if that was the true way that you felt, you would have signed a waiver with the officer, and we wouldn't be sitting here today.
I would have, but then I found out if I get denied from y'all and I get denied halfway house, I get a 45-day reentry, and then I'll make it home September 30th for my mom's birthday. You get what I'm saying? So I can't get a 45-day reentry without you denying me.
So he has it already figured out. Why do you have those elastics on your hand? On your arms, wrists, whatever.
It just reminds me to stay healthy. I've been diabetic now, high blood pressure. So this are the meds I'm taking. It just let me know that while my mom taking meds, I'm taking meds, and we both fighting to stay healthy. So we can, you know, my mom's 70 years old. You know, she adopted me.
Said that. Mr. Beckman, stop talking and listen, because you're repeating yourself. So you answered the question, and I appreciate that. So we're gonna you've been before the parole board before, because I see that you've had a few hearings. So let me see, Ms. Palmieri is actually going to start with the questions.
Yeah.
All right.
So Mr. Beckman, I appreciate everything that you've said, because you're right. Your suitability for parole today is difficult, right? You've got a handful of disciplinary reports. This is your 3rd gun charge.
Yes.
So you haven't been able to take any programs, and I think we can figure that out. Looking at your movements, you were in Rhode Island, you're back, you got these disciplinary reports. So if you could take any programs, what do you think would be beneficial to you?
I would believe I need counseling. That's me personally. I just need counseling. I need somebody I need guidance. I don't know what program they have for that. I just need guidance. It's schooling. I need to stay. That's it. Schooling and guidance. That's it. I don't really know. I don't know what programs they offer here. I know I'm supposed to, my OAP said something about
Voices, a job, addiction services, some vocational counseling.
Counseling. That was the big thing that I kind of agreed with. Everything else, the job thing, my leg messed up. I got a metal rod in my leg, my other ankle. That's why I walked in. So I just think.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Do you think you need addiction services? You think you need a drug treatment program?
Honestly, I don't have a drug problem.
But you said the fentanyl was for you. That was in the car.
Yes, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to get at that point in time they was the prosecutor was trying to hit me with the drug dealer thing, and I said that was for usage. To be honest, I never done fentanyl in my life. To be honest, with you. I never.
Well, you have a drug score of 4, which is just about the highest you can get, and you've got some prior treatment history, so that sort of all fits together.
That's my drug of choice.
And I would agree with you that some sort of mental health counseling, some sort of clinical services in the community will give you a lot of support, because if your mom is elderly and she's not feeling good, and you've been in and out of jail since you were a kid, you need somebody on the outside to kind of work things through with, right? Somebody to help with your decision making.
That sounds correct.
Okay. All right. And you'd ask for a halfway house, or would you go to your mother's?
My mom would love me right now because she's sick, and
Okay.
but the halfway house gives me a chance to come home and not be such. I don't want to put too much on her. She see me now.
You're 30 years old. You're an adult. You should be able to kind of stand on your own 2 feet. I'll agree with that. So you're going to have special parole with Connecticut. You're going to have probation with Rhode Island. So you get a lot of people watching you. What do you think about that?
My probation from Rhode Island is getting transferred from Connecticut. They want me to everything is going to be in Connecticut.
So you're going to have probation with Connecticut and special parole with Connecticut. So you're going to have 2 people asking you what you're doing, where you're going, why you're working, where you're working, why you're not working. How do you think you'll handle all that?
I believe I'll be able to handle it fine because I have jobs waiting on me. I got a great support system. I do have a great support system. I always wanted the other way. I didn't even I kept choosing the other way, but I always had a great support system. I'm able to get a job if I really want a job. I've never been.
Okay, and you mentioned a couple of times that you signed up for college at the prison. You signed up for college, or are you looking to do that when you get out?
No, I signed up here, and I'm looking to continue when I get back out. I signed up here. I want to take business classes, and my uncle has bought a whole little building, where he's setting up small little shops in it. He offered me a slot there if I get my small business license. So then from there, I start my cleaning company. And that's what I'm looking at right now. Everything else is.
I think those are definitely realistic goals. I think those are definitely realistic goals that you have set for yourself. And I think that if you follow through with getting yourself working to get yourself some support outside your family, like some counseling, you have an opportunity to really make some definite changes to your life.
Thank you. Those words, believe it or not, I appreciate those words.
I'm going to say you talk a lot. I'm a big talker too, so I can appreciate that. But I think you're articulate. I think you have some good ideas. So I'm hopeful that you'll be able to follow through with them if you could stay focused. Okay.
I'm just a little nervous. Sorry for talking so much. I'm a little nervous.
It's all right. We all talk. We're here because we want to hear what you have to say and then kind of price more information out of you. That's all.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Beckman. I do.
Thank you. Okay. So, Mr. Beckman, give us a few minutes to talk about your case, and we will give you our decision shortly. Okay. You can listen, but don't interrupt. All right.
All right.
So, I know Mr. Beckman wants to be denied parole today, and I do have him denied. He scores very high. This is his 3rd gun charge. He's got a handful of disciplinary reports. I do appreciate what I heard from him today, though, about what would help him in the community.
Yeah.
I do think that he knows what he needs, and I meant what I said. I do think he's articulate, and he has a good plan that is achievable if he sets his mind to it. But he scores high, and this is his third gun charge. There was he didn't get charged with the drugs in the car, but there's a lot of there was a good amount of drugs in the car also. So I do not have him voted to parole.
Thank you, Ms. Palmieri. Ms. Holt?
So I'm in a different place. His parole eligibility date would be today. And he has a detainer for Rhode Island, which he would be incarcerated until November 25th of this year. The key thing that I'm keying in on is that board member Smith Palmieri said you haven't had programs because you got moved around, right? So if we deny, we're going to hold him until September 30th, and maybe he gets programs and maybe he doesn't. If we grant, then he would be effective today, and Rhode Island would come pick him up and hold him until November 25th, which gives him the best possible shot at getting the programs that he could need in addiction services and such. The thing that I would hate is to deny him and have him start a addiction services program in August and get pulled out of it at the end of September to go to Rhode Island for 2 months, where at that point he's not going to get any programs in Rhode Island. So under normal conditions, I would vote to deny this because his suitability for parole isn't there. However, the detainer from Rhode Island is confirmed by one of the parole managers. They will hold him until November 25th when his end of sentence in Rhode Island ends. So while Mr. Beckman has plans about going out in September, going out April or whatever, that's not going to happen because of a detainer with Rhode Island. So for that reason, I'm going to vote for.
You wanted to say something?
No, I just, I don't think there's any guarantee that he's going to get programs in Rhode Island either. I hear that scenario, and I think it's plausible, but I also think it's plausible that if we deny his parole, that he could get into, so if he stops getting disciplinary reports, he might be able to get into even tier 2, which is short-lived, if we recommend it. But, I do see, I think sending him to Rhode Island puts him further away from his family too, though.
Right. I don't think he wants to go there either. But
I think, we don't know what either DOC or Rhode Island's DOC.
I think he will too. That's why he spoke to the parole supervisor to
Try to figure out what the longest period of time you could be in one place is, and definitely with us, there's an interruption there at the end of September where his sentence ends, and then he goes to Rhode Island for 2 months. So that's why I was looking at it. The way I was looking at it, the longest time in one particular place.
Right, that makes sense.
So
I also had Mr. Beckman denied. And it sounds as if that's what he expected. And he has a plan for his being denied. I would add a mental health piece as a condition for him. And I do hear both sides, honestly. I'm just thinking that if he went to Rhode Island, I have that he's done 12-5.
actually, parole manager Dyson confirmed with Rhode Island that his end of sentence would be November 25th.
And so they usually need at least a month for him to go. I'm gonna stay with the deny. And I say that because I think that that's where he wants to be in Connecticut. So, and his mom is there and he wants to get out before his mother's birthday. So I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but nonetheless, I have his poor institutional adjustment, his criminal history, and poor performance on community supervision. I don't know if you have anything additional.
I do not.
And for conditions, I have his detainer with a halfway house, a mental health evaluation and treatment. And I also had anger management, but I'm sure that that's because I thought it was minus OAP, but anyway.
Yeah, I didn't have it on its OAP. I had no alcohol. I mean, the disc talks about alcohol use. So I'm sorry, Madam Chair, you said no alcohol, mental health evaluation and treatment, and parole to his detainer
And a halfway house.
and the halfway house. Okay.
Do you have anything else, Ms. Wolf? All right, so with regard to Anthony Beckman, 383032, there's a motion to deny his request for discretionary parole based on his poor institutional adjustment and his criminal history, and also his poor performance on community supervision, which we really didn't even talk about, but he had 4 opportunities and failed 3 of those. I further move, so, Mr. Poole, you're going on the minority?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a second to deny?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay. I further move to set the following special parole conditions as Mr. Beckman has 4 years of special parole to follow a sentence. He'll be released to his Rhode Island detainer. We'll put the halfway house condition on if that is needed, and he'll participate in mental health evaluation and receive treatment as being necessary. He is also not to consume any alcoholic beverages. Is there a second to set those conditions? All in favor? Aye. Okay. So, Mr. Beckman, I know that this was a lot. You heard us talking back and forth about what we wanted to do with you, but according to the things that you've said here today, it's, it sounds like you have a plan. And I really do hope that it's successful because you're young enough to turn your life around. You have a lot of good goals set for yourself. So follow through with it. All right. Best of luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Does not Anthony Beckman, 383032.
Well, I guess the reverse psychology didn't work. It almost worked on one of the parole officers. It really made no sense to me. He's like, I think we should parole him so he can start his detainer in Rhode Island. It's like, what? Well, where was the logic in that? I don't even, and he only has to serve 2 months in Rhode Island for possession of a firearm, by the way, the 3rd time by a convicted felon. And this light on crime stuff, it's fascinating to me. I mean, we see people that get longer sentences for what seems to me to be just not nearly as serious crimes, but possession of a firearm, 3rd time convicted felon. So this guy, we'll go over through some of this, but we did get our first stop talking from the parole board member, and man, I love that. I almost jumped for joy and did a little skip. It's been I don't know how many hearings have we done before we actually heard a parole officer say stop talking. Whew. It's it really, watching these Connecticut hearings just make me love and miss and forgive even the worst of the Louisiana parole hearings. It really is night and day. It's 2 different type of worlds and styles and culture, and just everything is so different. Connecticut, it's just the most bizarre. I mean, they come in saying, I don't want to have a parole hearing. And then they start kind of like fighting about it. And it sounds like an argument with a toddler, but like a toddler arguing with their 10-year-old sibling. It's like, no, you do want a parole hearing. No, I don't. No, you do. I know you do. If we'd give it to you, you'd want it. No, I don't. And it's I don't get what he's saying. He's like, I don't care. I'll just serve my time till. Of course, you want to get, because why wouldn't you want to start your time in Rhode Island? It doesn't even make sense. Of course, you want to get paroled so you can start your time in Rhode Island and get it over with. And none of it made any sense to me. Am I missing something? But his record, I'll read it to you, and then we'll go over one of the crimes. So it goes back to 2013, and only 2013. Richard pointed out last time I said this, that they only show crimes for the past 10 years. So I think it's probably safe to assume that he has a record that dates back before 2013. But he has 2013 where he was given a 5-year sentence for what we're about to go through. This was this one right here, where it's kind of a funny story. We'll go through the details of it. But he was found, maybe I'll just show it to you now. I won't scroll down more because it shows addresses, but I'll read it to you. So this is him. He's a young guy. He's dating her. This is just one of the third people. This was the home that they were selling out of. What's sad about this is that they had 2 children in the home, 4 years old or 3 years old and 5 years old. And when the detectives came in, they found the narcotics laid out all over the place on top of the baby stuff and access to the kids, being able to grab it. And when they started frisking him, it's funny because it's almost like a comedy. It plays out like a comedy. So it goes through the list of everything that they find when they start frisking him. So first they find like 26 grams in his sock, and then they find 30 grams of Pepsi in his right pocket, and then they find 8 grams of Pepsi in his underwear, and then they find another 12 grams of something in up there, and they list it in the article. I can't go through it because they mention, but they keep finding stuff. And then you think that's it. They take him back to jail, and they said that they find another like 12 grams in jail, and also cash. They find like $800 cash while he's already in jail, hidden inside his orifices. So, which you never want to do that, because that's another charge. If they find it in jail, apparently, from what I understand, that's just an additional charge. But even with, and on top of it, they got endangering a child, 2 counts, and also they were doing this across from a school. This home was directly across from a school, so they got those extra charges at them, and even all those charges piled up, he was only given a 5-year sentence, suspended after 15 months. So that's all he got. And guess what happened? This was 2013, March 7, 2013. As soon as he got out, he violated, and his violation was on 1/5/2016. So he got 18 months. And then right after he got out for that, he picked up another what he violated on, was 2015 with having a revolver. So he was given 3 years for that with 2 years special parole. Plus he violated, as soon as he got out from there on October 1st, 2018, he got another charge. It doesn't say exactly what. I don't see it here. It just shows that he was arrested and sentenced for 53A173. I'm not pulling that up right now. And then he got out 2 years later, or he got it earlier than that. He got his next offense 2 years later for half an ounce of the devil's lettuce and 6 months of jail. Then he got his next charge on October 22nd, 2021. That was for having a pistol and a revolver, having a weapon. He got 3 years with special parole, and then he also has this Rhode Island weapons charge, but they're only giving him 2 months for, because I don't know, like, why not? And it's just a revolving door. While he's in prison, he does no programs. He shows up to his parole hearing saying, I don't want parole, but I signed up for college and I got a business loan coming. And I got to say, yeah, okay. The parole board even believed him. It's just ridiculous. Like, do they believe him? They're like, well, he at least can do programs while he's here instead of just sending him to Rhode Island. It's like, really, he's done nothing while he's been here. How come you didn't confront him? How come you didn't say, You've done nothing. You know what else they didn't do? And this is again where I miss Louisiana. He actually went up and said, I have no victims. I had no victims. You know, I've been shot, but I've done nothing wrong. And I just wanted someone to say, what? You're dealing. You're a dealer. What do you mean you have no victims? But they didn't do that. There's something seriously lacking with this parole board. It's you know, and I probably would have no idea that there was without having the Louisiana as a baseboard to compare it to, and it really does, for me at least, when I see these Connecticut parole hearings, I have this newfound respect for the Louisiana parole board. You know, everything that I guess I took for granted, I appreciate much more now. You know, the idea that they don't let anything go, that they, for the most part, you know, there are bad hearings and days that you don't understand it, but it's going to happen when you do thousands and thousands of parole hearings. But they would have never let him get away with it, you know. And they do that here. They just do that. It's like they coddle them, like they're little, you know, they coddle them like they're little puppy dogs. It's just so strange, but hey, this is why we do this. And thank you, Richard, for the info. And yeah, he's now going to go just finish up his time, go to Rhode Island, and he'll be on the streets. And really, you think he's got anything out of prison? You think he's going to succeed now that he gets out? Please. But with that, I'll let you go.